Good morning, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday, so you know we're going to be talking tech and English. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We just want you to know that we are here. And if you've got a tech question, we want you to put it in the chat. We'll see if we can get to it today. But we're here to try to talk tech to you in English. All right. So how you doing, Fran?
I am well. How are you?
All is well. Hey, Pat, how you doing down there in North Carolina? We hope all is well with you. Yeah. So lately I've been doing watch parties, Fran.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, for all of y'all watching on the replay, we just want to say, hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time out to drop by. Put your questions in the chat. We do monitor that. We do go back and look, and we'll see if we can get to your question and give you an answer in English. I love it. So yes. So how's it going?
it's going very well. A lot of things going on in tech in the midst of everything. Tech has been leading the way in everything that has been going on. Tech is behind the scenes. We would not know, have, or be doing what we do without the technology. There wouldn't have been had, and I'm looking at history. Had there been technology like we have today, back when they first did the protests, you know what I mean? People are now seeing different things they weren't able to see.
That's unfiltered.
Right, because, okay,
We've
because
got citizen reporters
are having fun. They're having, not all of them are good. So you still need to be checking in and make sure, consider the source. But yeah, the citizen reporters have changed the game, and technology has led the way for the change in the game. So this week in tech history, because history leads to what we see. History foundation for everything that we're doing is built on some type of foundation, and so I'm looking at tech history. So let's look at some stories. June 15th, 2006, Bill Gates, chairman of Microsoft, Steve Ballmer was CEO at this point. Bill Gates announces that he will transition out of his day-to-day role at Microsoft by July 2008 in order to dedicate more time to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He had an exit strategy in place.
There you go.
There are a lot of people who keep who keep going on and on and on past their lifetime. It's like, when do you end the series? Like Friends, not Friends, Seinfeld. He knew when to end the series. Yo, how you doing? Good to see you, Theo. So they knew when to end the series. Bill Gates knew when. Do you just keep on going and going and going and going and going and going, or do you end it nicely? Transition to something else that you want to do. This may not be your forever gig. What is your exit strategy? But that is a different conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, just a second. So that was June 15, 2006. That does not seem like a very long time ago. The Ford Motor Company was incorporated June 16th, 1903. Henry Ford incorporates the Ford Motor Company with 10 investors and $28,000. Ford will begin building automobiles on Mack Avenue in Detroit in a converted factory that previously produced wagons. Shut up. Come on now. They made wagons and wagon wheels and all of that. I'm thinking, and now they are making cars. That's called progress, right?
That's called vision, the ability to see the next big thing.
Do we have vision? Because they were, I'm sure they had pieces of wheels and buggies and other stuff that was in there that they had to clear all that stuff out to begin to make automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
And he did have an electric car, by the way, but I learned this in a class I was taking, but the people who were doing the gas combustible engines, they squashed it because of the fuel and the other stuff. Okay.
Sounds like what's going on with Tesla. Well, what was going on with Tesla in the beginning?
Right.
Electric cars.
Not having it. They weren't having it.
Oh, they're having it now because more and more cars are.
And you really can't squash progress, even though you try. You really
I love
can't.
that. Say it again, Terry.
You really can't. You can't squash progress. It will happen. You're seeing it live and in person now with what's going on in the world.
Hey, Brenna. Hey, Theo.
You can't squash. You could try. You know the I want to say noose, but what is this? I forgot the story that they built he built the thing to hang someone else, and it ended up being him.
Oh yeah, that was in Esther.
Yes, Esther.
Yeah, he put them guys up. He just knew he was gonna go hang somebody.
The plans you make for someone else could happen to you.
Yeah,
it comes back. Hey.
Yeah. June 17th, 1980, 2 video games were copyrighted. Atari's Asteroids and Lunar Lander became the first 2 video games to be registered with the U.S. Copyright Office. That's 1980? Man, that don't go. On a side note, I could only find one image that had both games. Okay, so I found the image. But I remember Atari. I remember playing Asteroids.
I did too.
But 1980?
Well, I remember Pong. Y'all probably don't know what Pong is.
I remember Pong. Pong was fun.
I've seen it. It's the with the dot, and I remember everybody was fascinated.
And people thought that was just so phenomenal.
And it was easy.
Yeah. Ping pong table online.
Okay. Wow. I'm just going to read this story because we'll see. DES cracked. June 17, 1997, that wasn't long ago either, a group of users organized over the internet cracked the data encryption standard, the strongest legally exportable encryption software in the United States. Okay. After 5 months of work, they cracked it.
Okay.
This was the legal encryption software. United States banned stronger encryption software out of the fear that it would be used by terrorists, but companies designing the software say such restrictions are worthless because foreign countries offer much stronger programs. Okay, TJ, that is up your alley right there. I'm like,
we don't even want to talk about government and encryption, do we, TJ?
Oh, please.
With the lowest bidder. Hey, Dr. Tachi.
Oh, what happened? Oh, there she is.
I'm here. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
We both clicked on her, so I put her in, you took her out, I put her back in.
All right,
That's
somebody
okay.
gotta have control. Only one person's gotta control the click.
Yes.
I'm taking my hand off the click.
Who's the designated clicker? So Fran is the designated clicker.
Okay. So Microsoft introduces BASIC for 8086, and that's June 18, 1979. All this stuff don't seem that long ago.
Mm-mm.
It was in use at the time by over 200,000 computers with the Z80 and 8080 processors. Microsoft BASIC is introduced for the 8086 16-bit processor by being one of the first to offer a version of the BASIC programming language and making it compatible with their 8-bit. Okay, it helped to move forward the 16-bit computing, but perhaps more importantly, by developing for the 88, boy, they need to change these names, 8086 processor, they soon formed a relationship with the Seattle Computer Products Company, one of the first companies building computers with that processor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I remember when we were so excited when the new processor speed came out. It was just like an event, and now it's like,
Meh.
meh.
If it ain't going when I click and I'm there,
Now's the problem. I hear you.
The good old days.
bother it. I just need you to, when it clicks, let me go. I don't want to hang around. Okay, last story, and I did not set this up. June 19th, 1976, the Viking 1 spacecraft enters into orbit around the planet Mars for 10 months after being launched from Earth. Viking 1 would become the first U.S. spacecraft to land on Mars and the first spacecraft overall to successfully soft land and perform a mission on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And do what?
Well, it was Juneteenth, so
Yeah.
they went to Mars. I'm just saying. Right? Did I miss something? It was June 19th, right?
Yes,
Right.
it was.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying.
Yes, it
Okay.
was.
You know, my stand on Mars still stands.
Yep.
All the deplorables are welcome to go. I
Colonize. They can go colonize.
Please.
Bye.
please leave.
Exit.
Please.
They have built a wonderful spaceship and
SpaceX can take them.
Yeah, Earth no longer needs you. Thank you for your services. You may exit stage left. We bid you adieu. Good day, sir.
Bye.
Mars is the destination.
Bye.
That is our look at tech history. I thought it was just interesting.
That is.
Very, very interesting
That is.
indeed.
There you go.
And I did not plan that. I'm just reading the things that happened today.
Okay.
Wow.
Mars.
Comes back full circle.
Yes.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for because you might be out there.
Yeah. Well, I've got two things I want to mention.
Uh-oh.
They're wearables. Because I know you like wearables.
I do.
I was looking at TechCrunch today on YouTube, and they were talking about this baby monitor that's about this size
Uh-huh.
that is wireless that they
Okay.
can put on the baby in the form of a little booty. And now you can have skin-to-skin contact with your baby as opposed to them being in an ICU unit all hooked up because they can still monitor the baby. And I thought that was amazing.
That's cool.
That is amazing. They are testing it out in India.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funded, the research was funded by the Bill Gates Foundation.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of that type of funding.
That's good.
Stuff. And so I thought that was amazing. And so the monitor is going to be cost effective.
Good.
So you can essentially take the baby home and still have her monitored from a remote site by
Right.
healthcare professionals. And
Okay.
while you're in the hospital, you can immediately have contact with your baby. Because I'm telling
'Cause
you,
that's-
something
Mhm.
happens to your body when you look over there, your baby's hooked up to stuff. I know from personal experience. It's like your milk can freeze up, all kind of stuff. It's like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it
That's
makes a
amazing.
difference in the mother and to the baby. And then the other thing that they were talking about in these startups, because they were showing,
Mhm.
sort of startups, was the fact that they have these. Which one do I want to talk about? I'm going to talk about the one that goes through the vineyards. It is a remote. Well, it's not. It's a robotic car,
Mhm.
and it works like a just a moving trailer.
Okay.
And you can program it. You have to program it daily because, unlike in a warehouse, the terrain is different. See, these are the things that they've overcome, because I know we think about, oh, they got the robots going on in warehouses all the time. But when you're doing vineyards,
Mhm.
these are rough roads. They're not necessarily
Right.
paved.
The terrain is not smooth.
Totally different. So someone has to go in front of it, and I'll call it a trailer. The trailer follows the individual and charts a path every morning as to which roads it wants to go down, and then it goes on that route,
okay.
goes around that route every 15
Mhm.
minutes, so that the people working in these different industries don't have to stop what they're doing, lug a wheelbarrow back to the
Right. To with the grapes and stuff.
to the warehouse
Mhm.
where it's cleaned and everything. This thing comes through, and they just put the trays on there. So that's
Yeah, and it goes. Okay. I
yeah,
got
so
an
that's
image like thinking like a cart with wheels, and it's
good. And no sides
controlled by
on it. It's just a
drone. Yeah.
flatbed. It's like a
Okay.
flatbed.
Oh, it's flat. Okay.
And no driver in it.
Right.
Mm.
That's cool.
And so
Wow.
the individuals in the field can stop it and start it by popping a button, and that's it. And I thought that was a
Wait
real
till they get voice command on it.
that's a real labor saver.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought
No,
that
that's good.
was a good
That's
thing.
cool.
I wanted to mention those two things because I think when we talk about tech, we don't know that people really are working on devices to make
Yeah.
life better.
That's what it's for. That's what tech
Yeah.
is for.
Absolutely.
And so there are
Absolutely.
some really phenomenal things going on, and some startups. Oh, and DoorDash is launching an IPO. Let me talk about. Did you want to talk about that? It's
Yeah,
gonna be
Go
400
ahead.
million, 400 million has been raised for the IPO. They don't know when it's coming out. I'm gonna let Todd talk a little bit more about that, but yeah. So,
No, you have more. That I just know the 400 million, and that came across my desk that they're launching an IPO this morning, and it's going to be interesting for me because DoorDash has had, and not just DoorDash, but a lot of these gig economy delivery services have had issues when it comes to labor, have had issues in terms of calling their the workers or the delivery people independent contractors as opposed to employees.
Independent, yeah.
Correct. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen in terms of those types of things, because when you have an initial public offering, that means it's up for grabs for anybody to invest in, basically. But do you really want to invest in something that's going to have all of these labor woes?
Yeah.
So it feels like they need to. You're saying yes, you do.
I'm saying yes.
No, I'm saying I agree with what you're saying.
Right. Well, and she's saying yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I mean, I have stock in a number of companies that have some issues going on, and most companies do.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do. They absolutely do. Again, I always look at things from a humanistic standpoint as well. So while they are companies, they're there they're investable, and they're probably good investments. I'm not saying invest. Yeah. I'm just saying they're probably good investments. But then you look at the other side of what am I investing in? Is
Mhm.
my investment causing pain for someone else?
Mhm.
You know, there are all these things. I mean, and you can look at that with everything, you know, to be honest. But I think
Yeah.
now, especially in this age of, okay, the whole thing that's going on now with looking at diversity and different boards
Yes.
and stuff, it's like, my dollars going to support their lack of diversity?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think now we're starting to take a look at corporate responsibility and then our social responsibility to make sure
Mhm.
we're doing things like that.
Mhm.
And I think that includes investments. But you know, that's what I thought of immediately when I saw
Mhm.
that DoorDash is coming out, is doing an IPO.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely the other side of it, Tachi. Definitely.
You know, I was
Definitely
looking at the other
side
side.
of it. Yeah, that's the other side of it.
And somebody needs to remind us on the other perspective of the other side of stuff too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We have a comment from Brenna. She says, I'm needing a wheelchair that is controlled remotely with a bracelet that I wear, so I don't have
Nice.
210 pounds when I'm 50 and older. And
Yeah.
somebody can do that now.
Absolutely.
They can create
Yes.
a truck that's going through the vineyards. Somebody can make
Oh
that
yeah.
happen.
Absolutely. And I think one of the ways to get that done is to approach some of these universities that are working on robotics. You might want to just write a simple letter to Carnegie Mellon University, and you know, and because they have to have student projects and things, and they can find, once they find a need, they can fill it. And the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, has become a hub for medical bionics. So that would be a good place to write, Brenna, and just ask, you know, has anybody figured this out?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they are actually amenable to those types of things, as she was saying. When I went to Podfest, they actually featured a special guest who had a podcast. But the interesting thing was that he was, I think it was at Carnegie Mellon, he was one of the first things that they worked with in terms of electronic pulses. And because he's a veteran, and so he's a paraplegic in terms of using the electronic pulses and a device so that he could walk. So that was funded through research through Carnegie Mellon, and he was on stage, and they actually did the demonstration and stuff, and it was mind blowing. You know, those things exist, but until you actually see it work and in person. And this is just one individual, and it started with writing letters, so it can work.
Yeah, you can.
Letter.
Yeah.
Okay, so so we didn't really go down a rabbit hole. That was real good.
Now, I tried not to go down a rabbit hole this morning because I wanted you guys to have plenty of time. There's so much to discuss.
Okay, what's up?
So before I start the social media, this is kind of social media. So everybody knows about the brands. Aunt Jemima, that they're changing the branding. Finally, they're changing the actual brand.
Are you going to show us the video? The girl with the
what
breakfast?
video?
The girl in breakfast.
Oh, if you, I don't have it queued up, but I will link it later.
Yes.
So these brands, and I don't want to call them iconic. I call them problematic because we've been talking about this for years in our community about Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, Mrs. Butterworth, that the branding image is problematic because of the origins of the brand. All of this started on Twitter. The current conversation, because I saw it happen. Like I went on, because I go on Twitter all the time. I saw stuff. I always check out the trending. So I was like, why is Aunt Jemima trending? So I go in there and I see all of this conversation, and I'm like, okay. And I look out, and then I see later on that Quaker owns the brand. That they and PepsiCo, right? PepsiCo. Quaker is the managing brand. They say they're changing it after what was it, 183 years?
Girl, don't get me started.
Was that the right number?
Alligator. Let me just Google that crap. Hold
on. If you want to thank somebody, you thank Twitter, because the conversation has been going on for a while. I did see B. Smith, if you know B. Smith, the restaurateur that passed. So sorry, but her husband was on Today's Show, talking about this, that he wrote to Quaker Oats, or he did something like in the 90s trying to get them to change, and he said their response was, "We will never change this." That's what he said.
Was that when they updated the image?
They took her kerchief off and they put pearls on
They
and made her
cool. Yeah.
They put a a modern hairstyle, but
that S curl or whatever the hell that was.
that didn't help anything.
No, it does not.
So I'm just saying that this fight, and it finally culminated in successful like changing of the ways of a corporate brand, is like we've been having this discussion, and it's just finally they decided, and I'm going to give this to Gen Z and those guys, that they are starting to attack the things that we've been talking about and put down, because it was like, we're not changing, they're not changing, it's getting tired of saying the same thing.
I think the difference is too that Gen Z has better tools,
right?
To combat this with.
Yeah. So, it just goes to show you that corporations are paying attention to social media finally, from a consumer standpoint of, this is what we want, give it to us and do it. So,
and then here's the other thing. Remember how TJ, you have talked about kids being susceptible to what other kids are saying about them. So here's my little far-fetched idea, or my thought that just ran in here. Hi, Mark. My thought was, those same people are now, some of the same people are taking over in some of these companies, which they are now susceptible to hearing, oh my God, the people don't like us, and they are willing to move. You know what I mean? They're coming up.
Yeah.
Ranks. They're coming up in the ranks.
There's a shift in power of the consumer voice, of them being in the workplace and questioning everything and challenging everything, which is good, because they have a thing about boomer, which is the boomer generation, which are the CEOs and who are running the corporation. They're like, listen, if you're not listening, we're gonna burn everything down, basically. So now corporations are like, wait a minute, we're going to instantly make a change, instead of going, we'll form a committee and we'll look at it and we'll get back to you. They didn't take that answer, because that's something that they were saying. Like I said, I forgot his name, B. Smith's husband was saying that they had this conversation with the brand in the 90s, and he said the answer to him was, we will never change it.
I think you all hit a lot of great things on the head, and especially Terralina, when you said that Gen Z has better tools, because now they could be heard. So this conversation, as we were saying, has been happening. So the difference is now that they're hearing the consumer and they're paying attention.
We don't have to beg people to put our viewpoint on their platform. Or
exactly,
through their media channel, or through their, you know what I'm saying to you? They don't control the narrative anymore.
No, exactly. And then
we can organize a boycott without having to call every black church in America and say we ain't buying nothing.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, for me, I don't like their mix, their pancake mix, or their syrup anyway, because their syrup is just pure sugar. So I don't like it anyway.
That image was never accepted, because I can remember as a child, when we wanted to insult somebody, we'd say, ain't your mama on the pancake mix, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
There was an insult.
It was an
insult.
Exactly. So, but the other thing is this. I think we are really quick sometimes. Some of us are very quick to accept this as we're getting rid of Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, and now do you feel better? No, we don't feel better, because I'm not clapping for you for doing what the hell you should have done in the first place.
And
you're 133 years old.
Generations is it going to take to get that image out of people's minds?
Exactly. That's one. So the image is there. The damage has been done. So I'm not clapping for you. That's what the hell you should have done in the first place. Number two, I don't care about you removing these racist archetypes from your products. What I care about is, do you now have people in management, in your administration, so that this type of rubbish doesn't happen again? Do you have people that are reflective of society? Do you have Black people on your boards? Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Because if you did, they for damn sure would not have allowed these, and enough, not just one token, but enough people who actually care about the community and the image of the community, that this would never have allowed to remain until the 21st century. You do realize this is the 21st century and you're still using these racist archetypes. It's not just a thing for everybody. For you, it may just be a thing, but for us, it harkens back to deep hate and deep hurt. So
Yeah.
I don't know why you weren't listening before, but I know why you're listening now, because it's going to hit you in the pockets.
Exactly.
Companies rarely do things just out of being nice and corporate responsibility. It's because corporate responsibility is good business. So, you know, A, I'm not clapping for you. B, I don't care that much about that. What I care about is what is the makeup of your board now to ensure that things go right from this point on.
Okay.
You see Brenna's comment?
Yeah, let me start with Mark is in the room. He let us know he's here.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I don't know about the mimosas.
He didn't bring any.
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah. Then we have Brenna. Brenna says those brands are right up there with the Redskins football. They shouldn't have
Yes.
derogatory references to cloud lines of decency. And I could not understand why they couldn't change the name.
Oh, that's next. Brenna, get ready. That's gonna change. Watch.
Watch.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that we had problematic branding or problematic themes or whatever, as far as Black people, Indigenous people, whomever, those things are getting ready to fall. They're next in line. It's like a domino effect. So get ready. Get ready for the Redskins to change their name.
It needs
It's
to happen.
happening.
I lived in DC for 9 years, and that was the topic of conversation,
It's
you know,
happening.
from before and after I lived there, that this needs to happen. I don't know. And this is the thing, the fact that you cannot fathom that there are problems with these names that invoke stereotypes is beyond me. I don't know what kind of critical thing you have, no critical thinking skills, and you really should go and get your money back for your schooling, because the education system has failed you if you don't know that. And the fact that you can look around, there are no disparaging stereotypical names for things that are associated with non-melanated people. Let's say that. So that right there should have you put 2 and 2 together. Well, the point is you've never had to put 2 and 2 together because everything really kind of favors and caters to you. So the fact now that we've had to burn things down and had protests and people had to die for this to happen, you really should be ashamed. You should be absolutely ashamed for those of you who are not in support of any of these things.
They should be ashamed. I agree.
Morning, Jill. Good morning, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
And then Mark has a comment
Mark.
here who says, eventually the old white male rigidity and fear of being replaced will die off. Unfortunately, it's going to take a while.
Yes, it is, dear.
And I'll say this, those people have to die. I'm just going to tell you plain off. Those people, the CEOs, the older, whatever generation in, like, that they're having that mindset, they're going to have to go. And he's right. It's going to be slowly, because those people have to actually die off for things to change, or they have to step back and let the younger generation in.
But ideas never die. This is a problem, because those people have died. A lot of them are dead, but their ideas have lived on because of people being inculcated with these ideas and carrying them on. So the thing is, I think the difference now is that what is that? The James Baldwin book, I Am Not Your Negro. That's exactly what I am not your Negro. I am not that Negro of old. We're not taking that anymore. We're done. You know, I think people have really hit a boiling point.
And so what I'm seeing is there are a lot of younger generations, like the mayor of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Okay, he's younger. He's like, what is going on? So we have people with the younger mindset that are now coming in that don't play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't go for all of that, which is replacing the other people,
Yeah.
and
They're
they're like,
challenging the
right.
status quo.
they were like, what is this?
Absolutely, but that's got to happen on a government level as well. That's
Right.
got to happen in terms of elections, where younger people
Mhm.
are actually. Because what
Mhm.
happens now is all of this change happens at the bottom, but the top is still Methuselah and them making the same rules and not budging. So you've got to get Methuselah out. It's time for them to
Yeah.
go.
You
So
see,
it has to happen on that level too.
Right.
Oh
when
my
you, when we
God.
see all the hearings in government, who's sitting up there? They ask
People
the
who have
questions.
no clue.
They don't know what they ask their intern. What is this? What they don't know anything. Half of them
Interns should do
don't
like
use computers.
the interns,
Exactly.
they sit out the way. Let me sit down. Push y'all out the way.
Mark has a really big comment we need to look at. Great.
Mark says, I did a lot of organizational development work years ago, and the depth of the unconscious racism bias in corporate America is daunting. Here's the problem. You cannot get beyond what you refuse to acknowledge. If organizations do acknowledge it, they open themselves up to justified litigation. So their legal teams will not allow ownership. So everything that they do as a Band-Aid is tainted. It's lipstick on the pig.
Mhm.
Here, here,
Agree.
here.
Agreed.
Whew.
Okay, so the legal people, now what you gonna do? Because there's a whole bunch of lawsuits going on now.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Tons.
they have the money to pay for it. That they let me not get into that.
I
They
hear
have
you.
the money. You know what I'm about to say, right? They
Yeah.
have the
So
money to pay for it.
Right, so
you know what's very frustrating to me too is I know we're taking down a lot of these images and statues, but I can't even show y'all the original image of Alaga Surf, Alabama and Georgia. Is
Mhm.
what it stands for,
Mhm.
because they whitewashed that site so much, and the images on their bottles. So now it's two white hands holding, but it used to be a black hand and a light black hand. In other words, the cane pickers.
Oh wow.
You understand what I'm saying? The slaves
Yeah.
from state to state. We got slaves in Georgia. We got slaves in Alabama. Make them start for you. Okay.
So is there? See, and to
And now
Mark's
you
point.
can't find the image anywhere. I mean,
So-
now it's two white hands. On the 100th anniversary, they put two white hands for Georgia and Alabama. Really?
So have they acknowledged that? I think to Mark's
never.
point, there's a lack of acknowledgement. That's the Band-Aid. They're just slapping a Band-Aid on top of it. So the history is there, but there's no acknowledgement. And I think that's the worst part, that it's like, okay, well, it's like you do something and you never say you're sorry for it. We don't accept that from people in our everyday lives, where it's like they do something horrific to you and then they just try, when somebody acts out and then you stop being friends with them or whatever, and then they try to come back like nothing happened. No,
when
witch,
they tell
you don't know how
you get over it.
to get over it. Yeah. I'm like,
over it,
I'm not getting over it. You didn't acknowledge that you did something wrong, which is why we stopped being friends in the first place. You need to backtrack and apologize. It's that same type of thing. And I don't know why people think we would accept that from
Curtis
a
says,
country.
Fix your face.
Hey, Curtis.
Hey, Curtis.
He knows I can't fix my face.
So, y'all just need to get over it. I don't know why we having this conversation.
Well, the conversation is, and because this is technology has exposed a lot of things,
Well,
and
Mhm.
technology is gonna help people clean it up.
okay, well, let me
Yeah.
ask you this. What about Google Doodle celebrates Juneteenth?
Oh, I haven't looked at it yet. Let me look
I
at the
haven't
Google-
either.
Look at the
Okay.
doodle.
And now see,
Oh.
Google, they've done lots of different ones. They've
Right.
done
Mhm.
all across the board. They have always done something
Yes.
for all cultures.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Everything they've done. I
Right.
mean, and a woman sculptor. I had no idea she was a sculptor.
Yeah.
Was African American, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I learned about her on the little Google.
Right, on a little Google Doodle.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that there are things going on. And then I was talking with Terry today. Did not realize we are only 150 57 years out of slavery.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's only really 2 generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just 2 generations.
Absolutely.
I mean, if my grandmother were alive, she'd be the 2nd generation out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
No, because she would really be the 1st generation because she was
Yeah,
born
the first
free,
generation,
because
right?
my great grandmother was not born free.
Right.
Okay, so and I knew both of them. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm really the 2nd generation out, and I think we're doing
Wow.
really good to still be freaking standing under the circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay, so TJ, what else do we have going on?
Okay, yeah, because we can talk about that.
Yes, we
For
don't
the
want to go
whole-
down this rabbit hole. I
Yeah,
told
we don't
you I
wanna
wasn't
go.
going there.
All right, so I brought that up because I was talking about Twitter. So now Twitter has a new feature. They testing voice tweets with up to 140 seconds of audio. It's a
Uh-huh.
test that is iPhone only right
Oh.
now, and it's a few users. So if you have it, there's a little icon when you go to compose a tweet on your mobile phone.
Uh-huh.
There's a little icon that looks like a waveform, and when you touch it, you can record up to 140 seconds. If you go over the 140, it will cut it and then make it a second tweet because there's a limit.
Mhm.
The regular tweets are 280 with text. So I'm thinking, I'm looking at this and going, this is a tool for scrupulous or unscrupulous people to send threatening messages. That's what came into my head, the first thing.
Oh my God.
So it's
Even though Twitter is looking at this is like, oh, you can send audio messages and won't it be nice? And I'm like, well, do you know your platform? There's a lot of hate speech and there's a lot of racist and biased stuff. So if some of them are bold enough to do it, which I don't think they are, but they can make a tweet that. So I want to find out if Twitter is, what's the catch for if they're saying something biased or racist or trollish or hate comments or hate speech, unless it has to be reported. The person seeing it has to report it. But that was my only concern. So now they've just taken the audio feature and put it in here. And I'm like, I don't know.
Like the same thing that we have on our iPhones, where if I want to send a message to somebody, I can.
Yes.
Instead of sending you a text, I can push it and hold it and say
Right.
whatever I want to say, and then you'll
Right.
get.
So you hold it, you get 140 seconds. It makes an image, and then if somebody wants to listen to it, they have to press the play button on it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, my first thought when I heard this was like, oh, here's another tool for audio instead of a tweet that says something hate-ish or
Mhm.
bullyish.
I am not worthy because I don't see it on mine. So
It's not. I don't think everybody has it because they're saying that it's like a test, a little rollout.
So they're rolling it out. Okay. Is it in
Right,
beta
so-
right now? They're just testing?
Well, it's out now, and it's not
Okay.
really beta. They're just not giving it to everyone because you can't mass roll out anything.
Yeah. Mhm.
Correct.
With 350 million users, they can't give it to everybody. Just like with Facebook, they
Yeah.
don't give it to everybody. So just keep checking when you go to create a tweet.
Mhm.
The button will be. It looks like a little waveform button when you compose a tweet.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. And so this is the interesting thing because often when I post to Twitter, I'm using a social media management tool. So
Mhm.
that's something that you only see natively.
No, I think this is in the Twitter app itself. I don't think it's in, like, if you had Hootsuite or Buffer or
Right.
something. I don't think it's in there.
So it'll
It's
only
just
be
the
native
app.
if you post natively.
Right, in the app.
Okay.
Right, in the app itself.
Okay.
Wow.
So they're saying it's initially be available to a limited group of Twitter users on Apple iOS platform, expanding in the coming weeks to all Twitter for iOS users.
Forget
Okay.
Android.
So here's Twitter's statement. They're saying we can't wait to see how people will use this to make their voices heard and add to the public conversation. So that's what I was saying. A part of my first thought was, oh boy, here come the troll. If they're bold, but see, some of them are bold enough to say it with their voice? Because that's a different thing from typing.
Right.
Okay, so now having been the director of EEO for the state of Pennsylvania, I just want to say this. Okay, so now here's something else for us to track so that we can document your hate crime. Okay, we're going to find the IPO address. We're going to find who set up the bot, whatever you're trying to hide, the encryption, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
And
but see, that was my first. That I'm just saying, my first thought when I read this story was like, oh no, because Twitter has such a hate speech problem that they need to fix on that. I don't want stories in Twitter. I don't want audio in Twitter. I want you to fix the hate problem.
Yeah,
with the tweet.
Exactly.
Because
I mean, and they have some tools.
Twitter like that.
Well,
they have some tools to let you block people, and only certain people can see your tweets, and you can send to a group of trusted people. But I'm like, but don't give this audio tool out. But on the other side,
the conversation. Terry.
But see, on the other side of this is that the people that make those kind of hate speech, trollish, they're too afraid to use their voice. So a lot of them won't do the voice thing. I'm thinking, it's just my opinion, but I'm just going Twitter. Fix your hate speech problem first. Okay. I don't want stories. I don't want audio. Fix your hate problem.
Brenda, comment I'm going to throw in here.
Yeah.
And see, I like Twitter because it's an up to the minute thing. If you follow, if you fine tune your account to follow the right people, so you have to do that initial work. And once you do that, when I go in Twitter, I don't see any of that stuff unless somebody that I follow retweets it, which is rare. But it's there. But I'm just saying, I make a walled garden of, I want to hear from journalists about tech, journalists on news stories. What's the breaking news? What's going on in New York? And I fine-tuned my account to do that, but not everybody can. It takes a lot of time to do it, is what I'm saying.
A lot of people just let all the junk mail come in.
Yes, it's a file. It's unregulated information. It's a fire hose of information, and if you can't, put a valve on it to say, "Give me this, that, and that," it's going to overwhelm you. So that's why I know a lot of people don't use it. But I'm telling you, I saw the Aunt Jemima thing happen before it became the story. You can track conversations if you know where to look and what topic. So you'll go to Twitter and it'll just pop up like, oh, and I'll go in and read a couple of tweets and see what people are saying and then try to figure it out. So it's a necessary tool, but they gotta fix the hate part of it, the hate speech where people get to say what they want to say. They need more tools. Okay, that's my thing about Twitter.
Mark says, "Hey, how many times do we have to say, give us an edit button?" And he's right, because you can't, like, if you misspell or do something. You can't go back and edit. You got to delete the tweet and then do it. I agree. We need an edit button. And then, like you were saying, they need to figure out how to deal with
a better way. Yeah, there's ways to block people and report people and protect your tweets. But I'm like, there needs to be more than what they have, and they're focusing on stories. I don't care about stories in Twitter. The tweet is a story.
You're so right. But sometimes when we look at this, and I am not necessarily advocating for people, these companies doing what the hell they like.
Right.
But do we expect too much from these social media companies and social media platforms for free? And in terms of protecting it, do we expect too much?
But see, this is the thing that the audience is asking for these things over and over, especially for Twitter. That's the number one thing. They want an edit button. They want better tools to help protect people, because some people are too fragile for Twitter. I'm going to say that, and maybe they shouldn't be on it, but they're on it because it's a useful tool. So it's like a catch-22 kind of thing. No, really, honestly, I'm like, if some people, if you can't handle it, please don't go on Twitter. Try to. Right. It's just it's not for the thin skin. You gotta have a thick skin. And I mean, why should I have to do that? They gotta improve the tools. They gotta improve the tools to protect people more. But I mean, I don't know. What is Twitter's
so here mission? So if I'm hearing Dr. Tachi, She is saying because it's free and it belongs to them, they can do what they want.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't have to look.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
You
I'm
don't
not
have to- you don't have to
advocating
go there.
that.
No,
I'm not advocating that, but the reality is kind of, yeah.
She's right. She's right. They can't do what they want to do. But it's like Twitter is giving us tools we don't want. Who asked for that? That was the first thing I thought of. Who asked for audio on Twitter? I know no one that in my circle was like, oh, we need an audio. It's like they're thinking of things to improve
Yes, Mark.
the platform to get more users and engagement, but it's giving us the wrong things instead of giving us the right thing. Because if you protect more people's voices, you'll get more people that won't be afraid to use it. Twitter has a problem of people are afraid to use it. I know, I've seen it.
Yeah,
People say,
right.
I'm afraid of Twitter. Fix that.
Mark said too frail for Twitter. I've still seen.
It's a hard place to be, but like I said, I've been on it for years, and I've fine-tuned all my platforms, my accounts to where I see what I want to see, and I'm not looking at the bad stuff. I'm just like, okay, when I go in there, I want to see this stuff, and then I'll go out and venture out the circle and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Twitter
and
is
go,
like into a battlefield.
Yes.
Flying and you
Yes.
and
Yes.
stuff as you build yourself.
Until I get my shield, I got to get my helmet and shield on, and then I'll go and see what is that over there that they're talking about on Twitter. Because it is. A lot of people are afraid of it. They are. I've heard that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna switch gears. Are we?
Okay. No, wait. I got one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, my phone. Okay. Facebook.
That's where I was going. Go ahead.
Oh, they're monetizing WhatsApp in the form of WhatsApp payments.
Exactly.
This is a part of, and they're launching it in Brazil because Brazil is like their Facebook's
That's like the testing ground. Yeah.
Yes. So
it's a big testing ground.
Remember when a few years ago they wanted to do was it Calibra or Libra or Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Remember they did the dating thing down there first?
Right, but see this Facebook wanted to do the money thing. They wanted to have a whole system of
Libra.
Calibra
was the company. Calibra was the company or the subsidiary.
And
Libra was the
money,
currency.
The currency, yes.
Cryptocurrency.
Right.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is they've abandoned that in favor of improving. Yes. They realized that. So instead of doing that, they said, oh, well, we could just work within the messenger apps, Facebook Messenger, you can send money back and forth. So now they're looking at WhatsApp. And they're saying it's built on Facebook Pay, which the company plans to use as the foundation to support payments across all its apps. All right. So WhatsApp has 2 billion users. And let's see, they're going to charge fees in line with industry standards for payment made in WhatsApp. Peer-to-peer payments won't cost anything, while businesses will pay a fee to receive payments from customers. They're saying in Brazil, the fee is 3.99%.
That's 4%. That is high.
Yeah. So they're trying to do this instead of that thing that they wanted to do, which was kind of like.
Okay, I have a question. What is now here I'm going down this systemic rabbit hole. What is the demographic of Brazil? At 4%.
Non-white.
Okay, and do you think that's not going to be passed on to the consumer?
But see, here's another thing. Facebook is looking at the business side of it for WhatsApp and not really the.
Well, they're going to pass it on to the consumer. The fact that I tell the consumer this don't cost you nothing, okay, because it's hidden in the cost of the product. Are you kidding me?
But see, if it's person to person, there's no payment. It's businesses are going to pay.
No payment. No
right.
charge.
Businesses will absorb the charge. Businesses, because they want to facilitate business.
Okay, so I'm just sticking with Square then. Why do I need to my rate?
Well, see, here's another thing. WhatsApp is a big deal in other countries, not in the United States. It's bigger, and they do it to pay. They pay businesses, and they give each other money, but they pay for things business wise. So that's why
they give money to family. I can see that why WhatsApp is used for a lot of different family members talking across countries. I understand.
Mhm.
I just
So
don't
there's
trust Facebook and money.
right. Oh, I'm not saying
Yeah,
I don't
I've-
use WhatsApp. I'm just, letting everybody know
do.
that what's in WhatsApp. So they're using it's common for in other countries that they use WhatsApp for business transactions. So
Mhm.
Facebook has realized that they giving up this
The-
whole
yeah,
payment
yeah.
system of Libra, and now they're working on, okay, we're going to make it smaller, but it's still like a payment system that Facebook is working on. They're putting it
Yeah.
in WhatsApp. So
I have a question. How many
Yeah.
people on here have given somebody money on their Messenger app? Or
No, ma'am.
not me.
I will not.
I'm not giving you access to my bank account.
No, ma'am.
No.
I'm like, no.
Not today.
Mark says, finally, all of you that have been waiting to send me money as a tribute, there's a hit me up and I will give you my contact. I will not stand in the way of your.
Joy
Oh,
says,
dear.
Joy. Mark says, send me money. I
Right.
don't care how you send it.
And Curtis says, that is a high fee. Yes, it is, Curtis. I'm like,
It is. It is.
Damn
So-
high.
I was like,
So,
4? I know. you know,
so
anyway.
Facebook and what's the word, Tachi? Facebook is
Master of none.
there.
None.
So if you're wondering why this thing is happening in WhatsApp, it's because of the whole Libra controversy that I was like, no, it's not happening. So you see, it's not happening, and they just refined it into one of their messenger apps. So Facebook is actually focusing a lot on their messenger apps.
Mhm.
That's going to be Facebook's focus. All
Well,
the tools
yeah.
being there.
Yeah, okay.
You're right.
Mhm.
You're right. I agree with that.
That's what they're focusing on, not the app itself, because Facebook has a youth problem. They've never fixed it. The youth is now on TikTok, and you're not going to, whatever little app that Instagram makes or whatever little app that Facebook makes, is not going to draw them off of TikTok, because TikTok is so addictive, and it's a combination of Vine and YouTube. It's where they go.
Well,
Right.
you know, Facebook is working on a TikTok equivalent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I don't see it working.
it's not going to work because you've
Nope.
already lost them, because you
Mhm.
I think again, that's what happens when you're master of none. Your focus is so spread out
Mhm.
that you ignore the very people that it was
Yes.
youth that really built Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I was on
Yeah.
Facebook
It was a
when-
college. Yeah, it was college.
when you had to have an
college
EDU
only.
account. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had an EDU account, and I was a PhD student, but it was all my other like students that I was teaching that were like, "Oh, you need to be on Facebook." I'm like, "I don't want to be on that." So they made me an account, actually. That's how I ended up getting on Facebook. But were like young people that were on Facebook before, and then slowly they started to lose focus of who. Well, no,
Because
they
yeah.
saw promise monetarily in older demographics. So.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
see, and if that's why we are telling you, whatever business you are in, the audience that you are talking to is downwards of 30.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You need to be focusing your message for people who are under 30 and below if
Yeah.
you want to stay in the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I always like to talk about Gen Z and millennials, because they drive advertisers. That's the group they want. So where's
Absolutely.
the attention on those guys? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You can get mad or whatever, but everything that they're doing flows up to the older generation.
Have you seen the commercials? The people in
Yeah.
the commercials are learning to adult. The
Yeah.
people in the commercials are,
Mhm.
these are not, okay, MeTV, you have all the other commercials.
Yeah, those
Absolutely.
commercials.
Absolutely.
All the other commercials are for
Mhm.
mommies and moms and
Well, they need to be for new moms, because after this situation here, there's going to be a baby boom. Let's see it. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. No, you're right.
People are home.
You're right.
um,
Yeah.
uh,
So
I'm going to put Curtis' comment
Yeah,
up. Go ahead, TJ. Facebook will be charging person to person, especially when they see how much money is being exchanged online.
I think the other way they're going to monetize this, TJ, what didn't they say they're going to have some kind of checkout platform where, they're going to connect it to e-commerce and, and that way they're going to get their cut. They may even be getting a cut from Reliance Geo, which is the company that's going to be getting the 9%, Lord, the 3.9%.
3.9.
They scared to say 4. Just say 4.
Yeah, I know. They really want to make it 4%.
Yeah,
but 3.9 seems
3.99.
palatable. Yeah.
3.99. 3.99. Like, just say 4. Just say 4.
Are you serious?
And see, Facebook knows it has a problem. They know for years. But in order to get the kids off of TikTok onto this new Facebook thing, they're going to have to pay them. And I don't know. I mean, they did it with Facebook Watch, but they did that with celebrities, though.
Wow.
With paying Facebook Watch.
Okay,
Again.
Watch. Do you watch Facebook Watch?
I love it, Mark.
The only successful Facebook Watch show is Red Table Talk.
And that's it. And Gary Vee has a watch, but I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
okay, let me tell you about Watch. When you watch a particular video or whatever, like one of our church programs come on, immediately when that video is over, it takes you somewhere else to another video.
A totally different video.
Get here.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the video that you watch. See, this is why TikTok's algorithm is so great, because if you see, like I see dancing teenagers, I either flick real fast or I take the time and go in and say not interested, because you can go into, I think, share or something, and there's a button that says not interested with a broken heart. So you're giving TikTok signals that you don't want to see dancing teenagers. So the next time you come in, if you like cooking, I like cooking stuff, or travel-scapes or pets, you'll get pets the next time. So they are saying, this is what you like, so I'm going to give it to you. That's what makes it so addictive.
Exactly. Exactly. And Facebook has not mastered that algorithm type thing with Watch. So what happens is, like, you're all over the place. It's tantamount to just, watching something, and then your TV automatically flips to something you don't want to watch. Some random nonsense. I'm like, but who said this? Who told you I like this? And that's the thing. They're not listening to
They're not listening.
Well, they're not investing in artificial intelligence.
And they forgot about the power of the hashtag, because hashtag searching on Facebook was never a thing. Now they're trying to make it a thing. Because if you go to TikTok and look at the hashtag, there's billions of views, not millions. Billions of views. So discoverability is there. So Facebook was like, oh, we're not really search optimized. We're not really optimized for hashtag searching. And when you bring them over, it looks stupid. So now they're trying to change that. They're trying to change that on Facebook. So I'm like Tashi says, master of none. So Facebook, you know what your problem is. You won't fix it.
We can't help people who don't want to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark is
who's trying to get what's going on in media.
So
absolutely. Okay, so for this, I have to share my screen for that. This is an interesting story that I saw. I had to actually put this in my timeline on social media, but I am really wanting to share this with you. So let me share my screen. This story has to do with the future of what Netflix bingers could look like if you don't do anything else. There's always health implications to everything. And, Netflix invented the concept of binge watching, right? And so let me get this. I don't know. Can I do this? Hold on. Yeah. Let me separate this out, because it's in the same thing. So if I separate this out, it will work. All right, here we go.
Okay, and you had audio to it, or does it necessarily?
Oh, there's no audio. There's no audio.
Okay.
Can you? Is it sharing?
Yeah, I'm putting it up now.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, good. Okay, fantastic.
Wait, hold on,
So,
let me take the banner down.
okay,
Okay, good. Ooh.
this is supposedly a 3D rendering of what Netflix bingers will look like. This is not even like in 100 years. This is 20 years visualized in 3D if you do not do what you're supposed to do. So, I mean, it's just absolutely incredible when you look at, is it scrolling?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this
Scroll
is you in
high.
20 years if you
Bring it
keep
back
doing
down.
it. And there was,
Bring it back down.
Yeah. There's some more pictures.
Oh, there's some more
Did it-
pictures. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
there's some more pictures that I wanted to show you. So there's 3D models to show you what you could look like. So this is a mock-up of the man. Now, if you
Wow.
notice, he's got because of sitting and watching, leaning forward, he's got kind
Yeah.
of like a hunchback. You notice that he's got bald patches. That's
Yeah.
because of lack of nutrients. Right?
Mhm.
So you already got male pattern baldness. It also will cause thinning and patches of the hair as well. And notice the varicose veins on the stomach and such.
Wow.
That, and now the legs, that's from sitting and not moving. And that's basically what happens. Now we'll call her Sheila. Sorry to anybody named Sheila. First of all, I'm like, why do they have to have such ugly outfits? That's just me. But
maybe that's all they can get. You know, when you get a certain size, they don't make cute stuff.
That's true. So you're ordering online, and this is what you can get. So notice also the way the hair looks. It's dull, lifeless. Also, you see the circles underneath the eyes, the dark circles, and also the skin. They say, well, they're supposedly oddly non-melanated, but there's kind of ashiness in your skin tone because you're not going outside to get vitamin D and sun and things like that. So yeah, this is let me stop sharing.
Oh, I got it
For a minute.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you got it. So yeah, that is according to a study and a rendering of what Netflix binge watchers could look like in just 20 years. So this could be any of us if we're not careful.
So we need to be investing in Walgreens and CVS because people are going to have diabetes.
Yes.
They're going to have heart conditions.
Yes.
A lack of nutrition and a lack of exercise. All the things associated that they thought we were going to do, and then they found out we knew how to jog and walk, and now they're not making money off of building all those pharmacies. Did you notice a proliferation of pharmacies in the Black community in the last 5 years? Suddenly we can get brand new buildings because they just knew we was going to get A, B, and C, and we messed around and didn't get it. And some of them the one down the corner had to close.
The pharmaceutical industry is huge. So, that has implications for the You're right. Pharmaceutical industry, it just all the way around. And, the thing is, this pandemic has not helped. And so if you're not conscientious and you're not doing, there's all sorts of free exercise and everything. And if you're not doing it, this could be you. So we just have to take heed and be very careful with that. So I wanted to share that because I found that very interesting.
Right. And very telling. Mark said, I do think they did a good job of capturing my COVID-19 figure.
See, or one of my colleagues calls it quarantine thick. So yeah. So we have to be careful with that.
And then 20 years, that's 20 days if you have the right Cheetos.
Some flaming hot plus some other things.
Oh, if you're ordering from snack.com, I ordered.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, my grandkids were excited because it was mail. And so
do they do it every month or every week or something?
You can set it up. You can set it up for recurring.
I did not subscribe. I'm just saying. He had a big rental truck. And then he pops out and he has on a Frito-Lay's uniform. I'm like, oh, oh, this must be the snack guy, you know.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's a show plus a show and dinner. Wow.
Yeah, because evidently they didn't have the infrastructure as far as a fleet.
Right.
Okay.
The delivery part of it.
It was going to work first, but he just pulls a box out. I said, "Are you the snack.com guy?" I'm him.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here's the thing. You've got Netflix and then somebody bringing you the snacks. You know,
You ain't even got to get in the car and walk around the grocery
Nope.
store.
That is a recipe to look like Fred and Sheila. Okay, that's who I'm calling Fred and Sheila. That is a recipe. So just take heed
Be
when
aware.
you're doing things. Yeah, be aware. And it's like what I put in on the post is like perhaps we should be doing squats as we're watching Stranger Things.
Yes,
because that gives a whole new meaning to Netflix and chill. So we need to be careful with that. And I do have some other stories if you are interested.
Yeah.
All right. So Spotify, we don't often talk about music, but music is media, right? So Spotify and Spotify is also tech, but their stock has soared because of this whole new thing that they have with DC, a new partnership with DC and Warner Brothers, the comics. So Spotify said Thursday they have a new partnership with DC and Warner Brothers to exclusively produce and distribute a new slate of scripted podcasts which feature popular comic book characters. If you are a comic book nerd or a sci-fi nerd like I am, this is something really cool. So they're also saying that they're going to draw on WB's broader selection of, quote, timeless titles and standalone podcast series. They did not disclose the terms of the deal, and they didn't say when the first DC podcast will air. But this agreement means that Spotify can produce, market, distribute, and sell ads against podcasts built around DC Comics intellectual property. And also, according to Wall Street Journal, on late Wednesday, the company also reached a deal with the Useless family. I'm sorry, Kim Kardashian West, for a podcast featured on criminal justice issues. Jesus Christ, superstar. So because of all of this, Spotify shares were up more than 12% yesterday morning in trading.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it right now. It says it's $236.87 a share, people. They're up $11.55 today. See, so Spotify keeps doing all these things. Remember, last year they acquired Gimlet Media and Anchor, which really let you know where they were going in terms of podcasting, right? Not just music. So now they're doing all of this thing, making deals with specific podcasters, like this whole Kim Kardashian West. And what the hell do you know about criminal justice except that you're fighting for it? This whole thing, whatever. But anyway, they should be a blessing to her children. Okay, go ahead. I hope so. Well, but we got the platform, so let's pray for her.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll take the high road.
Marcia, now who's going to invent the couch with the built-in catheter?
Oh God!
Oh my gosh!
Oh goodness!
Earth.
Goodness! All right, so there are a couple. Oh yeah, exactly.
Remember the movie? Yeah,
that's a perfect example. You are going to be like the people on WALL-E. So, so there's a couple of other things that I wanted to. I think actually just one thing or two. Hold on, try to find it. All right, so for those of you that are TV buffs and you are Blackish fans, they have decided to bring Blackish back this fall. So what happened is, what happened is ABC actually made a choice to leave Blackish off of its fall schedule and hold the comedy for mid-season. So instead of debuting in the fall, it would be like a mid-season thing. Now ABC has reversed course and they're going to return it to its line. I don't know why they thought they could get away with dropping it from the fall lineup. That makes no sense.
That was stupid.
So, it was really stupid. So what they were going to do is, so they've opted to move Blackish back to the traditional fall lineup and bump a new rookie comedy called Call Your Mother to mid-season. I was like, well, were you going to replace that with Blackish? You've lost your damn mind. You have lost your damn mind.
Nope, not happening.
So let's see this. So yeah, Call Your Mother. I don't know what the hell it's about, but I guess that was going to be in the fall lineup, but now they're putting that mid-season. So ABC Entertainment President Carrie Burke alluded to the renewed Black Lives Matter protests across the country in recent week, saying that adding Blackish to the fall lineup is an effort to speak to the current moment. I don't know that watching Blackish is going to do anything, although they do address current themes and
they do
on the show, but
and maybe we will see scenes of like what it's like to be in the workplace and suddenly be the authority on all Black people for 400 years.
Well, they do that
on people in different situations.
They do that on the show now.
They do that on the show now, but I don't think just
there's
that
not
Blackish
people outside with signs. So maybe it looks a little different this season.
This is what I think.
Right.
All these networks are rethinking their strategy when it comes to not only showing people of color, but really having a solid strategy in terms of having Black programming.
Yeah.
They thought, oh, well, we'll just they weren't thinking about this because they don't have to, thinking about this in Black terms. Oh, well, we'll just do this mid-season. Black Lives Matter happens and like, perhaps we should rethink our strategy here. That's what that was.
That kind of tells you who's in the boardroom making the decision.
Exactly. So I don't give a damn about you now. Oh, well, Blackish is now part of our lineup for the fall again. What I had give a damn about is who was not at the table that allowed you to make that stupid decision in the first place. Why don't you have people at the table? See, that at the end of the day is what it boils down to. Having people at the table that are going to ensure equity. That is what, not the one-off token that you always put there.
We don't want Clarence Thomas at the table when you do.
Hell no.
Can we get? We need somebody who can speak up, which is why we have to keep speaking out because we give them the power to speak out.
Exactly. We need a reasonable somebody who actually cares about our images in the media. That is what we need because, up until now, and that doesn't mean that nobody has been at the table, but the people we had at the table either didn't care about or did not have enough power. And then everybody else.
And I can remember, do you remember years ago when Jesse Jackson brought up this thing about, the writers with the TV shows and what's going on in entertainment, and they were met with brick walls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Al Sharpton was doing so years ago. We were, like I said, with the Jamai, we were talking about this, and now all of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, we gotta see who's at the table with the writers.
Well, something, there is a lot going on here because since that time, people have assessed that the $3 trillion that we spend a year might be significant.
Yeah.
And we have a way to unify that buying power. So, you're going to sit up and take notice.
And we were saying years ago that the problem that you have when you had a show that said the wrong thing or didn't work, it was because, well, look who you had writing. Look who the writers and the producers were. And we were saying back then, fix it. So continue to fix it.
Exactly. Says ABC is in pander mode. Suddenly, after all these years, they finally choose a Black bachelor.
I didn't even want to go there, but yes.
I'm going to say, I don't care what color the bachelor.
I don't watch it.
Trash.
I don't watch
Thank
the
you. I don't watch it.
I don't. That to me, the type of syrupy. It's so syrupy. I'm like, ugh, I can't say that type of thing anyway.
It appeals to a certain
I'm
demographic.
really gonna be mad if he picks Becky. Okay, so y'all better figure that out real quick.
And what it doesn't matter because it's just
okay.
It depends on who you are, whether or not it matters.
When I heard this news, I was like, so glad I don't care. Now, here's the deal. Bachelor, why is it still on? Because it makes a lot of money for ABC and it's cheap to produce.
Correct.
This is
It has no.
bottom line of ABC. This is perfect. They have a built-in audience, willing audience who wants to watch it. And this is what they do.
I don't want to see the Black Bachelor in a hot tub with.
Okay,
You gotta see it.
You know, I think, okay, so absolutely, this is, there's already been, so they made history when they made when they had the first Black Bachelorette, right?
Yeah.
So now they're following suit in that franchise, and they're going to have a Black Bat, because here's the thing, and this is why I think it's important. I don't give a damn about the show. I don't watch it, but I think it's important to have diversity. Why?
Yes.
Because it says that love is for everyone, marriage is for everyone, and the common discourse in this country has been non-melanated love and non-melanated marriage is the model of what everything is supposed to be. We've already, I mean, if you go back to, and I'm taking it back now, enslaved Africans were not allowed to marry.
No.
So you were not allowed to get married. It was against the law. You could not marry. So this kind of says that love and marriage is not for you. And if we're now fast forwarding to the 21st century, and we're still not seeing love and marriage in Black terms or Latino terms or Asian terms, this means, well, this is not for you. Real love and real marriage is only between non-melanated people. That's a problem. That is a problem with image. Definitely.
Right. And see, ABC is seeing that this is the right thing to do because of what's going on. But also remember that Netflix had a dating show, was it Love is Blind earlier this year that everybody was talking about. And the winners or whoever, I don't know if they're winners, but there was an interracial couple on there that everybody loves. That everybody loves. They still love them.
Cute.
They're cute. And see, that's ABC saw that. And then what's going on? They're like, okay, it's time. And
too damn late. You
late.
Now here's the thing. I Netflix has a little more leeway with what they do programmatically than something like ABC. ABC is Disney, right? We're talking about a larger conglomerate than Netflix. Fine. But they also have the power, because they are so powerful, to set the tone of what images in the media are like for people of color. And you didn't do it until an offshoot or somebody else did it. So I'm not clapping for you, ABC. Unclapped. You're not getting a clap from me.
First.
There's a lot of stuff that I just didn't like the show, because it's just like, really, it is like non-intelligence to me. I'm like,
it is. I don't. I'm like, okay.
I don't care who you pick. I don't care.
I'm not coming to the
So don't watch Terralina. Don't watch it because he's gonna be in the hot tub with Becky. Don't watch it.
Okay, see it. I can handle it.
That's happening.
Okay.
Mark Ward makes it.
Karen, I'm gonna be real upset.
No, we don't want to Karen.
I'm just telling you.
No, Karen is the older Becky.
Well, here's my question. Okay, so will the majority of the ladies be Black?
I don't know. I don't know. No.
Wait, when the Bachelor is white, aren't the majority of the women?
But that's the audience. You got to look at the audience for the show. Okay.
You do have to look at the audience for the show, but you then also have to. This is an interesting question. This is an interesting question. What they're going to do with that, because
interesting about that's why I will watch.
Black women are often left out of the equation and the conversation when it comes to love and showing love. Definitely, we don't see that, and you know the discourse has also been that we are so unlovable that nobody wants us. That has been the discourse
all the time.
Exactly. Exactly. So ABC, you know what Mark says is we're despite their reasoning, it will be a good thing. And I think to add to that, I think it will be a good thing to also have a large majority of Black women, because that will also show that Black women are worthy of love, because that is not the discourse that you see in the media now.
We get chosen.
discourse.
okay.
Can we be the ones that get chosen for bloody once? That is what we need to see.
All
So
right.
ABC, you've got your marching orders.
Okay,
Fran.
I'm going to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have to want to be on the show?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
But I know there will be people that want to be on the show. Believe me,
I
for
understand.
right or wrong reason.
I want to make sure. I'm just saying that perhaps we didn't see a lot of them because they didn't want to be on the program. I don't know.
No, honey. No.
No, I don't think that's the case.
Because I can see the auditions now. I would never audition for the show.
Well, see, and I
But
would
you're not the target audience. But
But-
believe
See,
me,
Gen Z,
I
it's gonna be Gen
believe
Z.
me.
It's
gonna
a
be
stepping
Gen Z.
stone into the industry. Just
Well,
to be
I
seen.
understand that, but see, we're saying that they're not picking them. I'm just saying maybe they just didn't step up and say, "I want
Oh,
to show." I
No,
don't
I
know
think
that.
they did. I think they did. If you look at so really, there are casting calls for all of these
Yes.
things,
Yes,
right?
it is.
There are casting calls. They're nationwide, etc.
Right.
People who want to be in the industry, this is why I'm saying whether it's for right or wrong reasons, people
Right.
who want to be in the industry and want to be seen are going to go for for them. It's like an audition. Okay.
Yes.
exactly.
So
They
I can guarantee, I can't say for certain, but I can guarantee there are a fair number of Black women who probably do answer those calls. A
Attract
fair number.
and
for the
educate.
exposure. For the exposure. But what
Yeah,
I'm
for the
saying is
exposure.
it may be majority Black women, but it's gonna be one or two Beckys in there.
And I don't have a problem with that, but I'm just wondering, is it going to be the majority of us that he gets to pick from?
Well, see,
people
now
go on there-
let's make a distinction. There are white women, and then there are Beckys and Karens.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there'll be some.
There'll be some
I
white
say-
women, and there will be
I
some
said there'll
Beckys
be
and Karens.
two. I
Yes.
say there'll be 2 white women on there.
Okay,
That's my
well,
prediction.
We're going
At
to take
least two.
that for that.
At least 2.
I don't.
I think it's going to be more than two.
It's going to be like in the
But I'm
Bachelorette
not
house.
watching it either. I'm not watching it because that's not the kind of show.
I will watch the outtakes. I will watch I just want the rundown from the next day.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
care about watching it.
Yeah.
I watched the Bachelorette when there was, I can't remember her name.
Yeah. I watched her.
I
Yeah.
watched that
Yeah.
because we were doing updates. We did on TV channeling. We talked about it, so that was kind of our assignment to watch it and do weekly updates. So that's the main reason I watched it on my own. Probably not.
Marcus,
Mark's comments.
Mark said Karen standing outside the house calling the police.
Exactly. That's the part that I want to see.
Oh
It's not fair. It's just not fair. Please.
my gosh.
Oh, there'll be lots of whining and crying. Why?
That's why I like The Bachelor, because I can't stand whining and nonsensical crying. It miss me with that.
Why didn't you pick me?
I just really thought that we had a connection, and
Now,
I can't believe I can't.
and here's the thing. If Karen sues because of racial discrimination after the show, I am so done. I am so done.
You are writing this whole book, Terralina.
I know, right?
I am so done.
The Bachelor.
She's in there writing a whole book on how she was treated during the show by us. I mean,
nonetheless, it will be interesting to see what happens with
thing.
it.
Yeah.
She
It
couldn't
is-
touch our hair and blah, blah. Girl, please shut up.
Yeah, it's a good thing because it's like you said, it's a Black Bachelor. We had the Black Bachelorette. Now we got the Black Bachelor. We should have that, and it should be more Black women on the show than the other whatever.
You know why I think this is good? I'm sorry. You know why I think this could be a good thing? Because it will show that Black women are not a monolith.
Yes.
When you saw the Black Bachelorette, you saw somebody who was very educated, very driven, very laser focused on what she wanted. And then there are other Black women that are not that are trying to figure out. I think that we are typecast into who we are. And just like other women, there are multiplicity of attitudes and feelings that
I
we
would
have.
also be interested to see the level of melanin in these people too.
Okay, that's all. That's what you care about. You want to know how many melanated folk are going to be
We're
seeking
gonna see.
the Bachelor. We
Right.
shall soon see.
How mellow is he going to be?
Patience, grasshopper. We shall see.
Let me
Yeah.
get my paper bag out.
I'm just saying it's gonna be at least two. At least two.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about.
Well, at first I thought you were talking about hyperventilating, but now
No.
I know you're talking about the test.
Yes.
So yes.
I just don't care.
I really don't.
I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it. I just
Me
will
either.
read the day after it debuts to see who the bachelorettes
Yeah,
are.
so
I
obviously
probably
they're
will go
not
to
talking
these
to me
websites.
anyway. Terry, they're not talking to you. Okay.
They're not.
I'm just saying you have to remember the demographics for the show The Bachelor. Keep that in mind. And there's a certain segment of society that doesn't watch it. We don't watch it.
TJ, to your point, the demographics that do watch it, they are Gen Z, millennial, young.
Yeah.
They don't,
Young millennial.
They don't care about color. They don't care. They don't
Right.
care green, white,
Right.
red.
So the show is for them. And the show is
No,
for them.
absolutely. And I think that's good. What's happening is though the rest of us come from a legacy where that really matters. And that continues to determine things till today, even the fact of Black women being picked for love. So
Exactly.
I think that they really have to think here.
They better
who
tread lightly. And who's at the table during the what do you call these things? The interview,
the casting and the interview.
Yeah. Who is at the table?
Well,
there better be some Black women at the table, because here's the thing: having Black women at the table doesn't just mean that we're only going to pick Black women. That means that we're going to be thoughtful and equitable in who we pick, and that includes Black women in the casting. So,
yep. There you have it.
Yeah,
Very
that's media.
Yep. So I hope they're taking them to the restaurant in a limousine so they don't get pulled over. Okay, I am out.
And on that note,
we're gonna be
watching. We'll be watching.
no.
I'm like Brenna. Me and you both. I don't like those shows, Survivor, Big Brother.
I don't like the reality
I don't
stuff
watch
either.
I don't watch
it. Ignorance. Thank you, Brenna. I was like, summed it all up because I was like, I don't like any of them.
Nope.
But they're cheap to produce.
Yeah.
And they make profit off of them.
Advertisers.
It's way cheaper than advertisers, because the
audience,
the audience likes it. They're like you per se, because they're supposed to be normal, everyday people. We like to see other people like us, not only on TV, but we have this thing. We like to see other people fail and act up on television. So it's terrible, but we like to see that.
And see, you got to realize what really runs television. Advertisers, because that's where the money comes from, and advertisers only care about 18 to 34.
Yep.
They want that demo. So if you don't fit in that demo,
hi Christy,
they don't really care.
They don't care.
They don't care. So that's what runs advertising. I mean, television is advertising. That's how they get the money.
Right.
So
I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't like them.
Bless them.
So they make these shows. Expect to see more.
Yeah.
And another thing, what's on TV right now is a lot of little stupid looking game shows.
Right. It's like every channel.
Because it's cheap to produce.
Right.
It gets the attention of 18 to 34, which is what advertisers want, so they spend money with the network.
And the game shows are stuff, I guess, like they play video games, and so now they're playing other games, and they want to see people
kind of silly
and fall and get hit. And I'm like, really? This is okay. I need
that's why
the story is.
Hi, Jonathan. I just want to say hi to Jonathan and to Maureen. They're watching over here I shared this out. So I just
Oh,
want to
okay.
say hi to Jonathan Tripp is in the house.
Dr. Chacha, you were saying something.
The moral of the story is if you want critically acclaimed programming, watch PBS
Yes.
or listen to NPR.
Yes.
You know, that's the nature. Commercial television is run by advertising. Advertisers only put their ads where there is a large amount of eyes. And if that's what the audience wants, this type of stupidity, that is what people are going to provide. I mean, and it's only because of, let's say this, the longest running reality television show on television was Cops. The only reason it's not on now is because Fox decided not to renew it because of Black Lives Matter. What's going on? So that was the longest running. And to me, that was like, this is a mess. Cops, why? That and live
nothing to produce.
Or not. Nothing to produce. Yeah.
Not a thing.
Absolutely nothing to produce. But Cops was the longest running reality show. This has been since like the late 80s, I believe. Cops was on. So that tells you that that's something it's cheap to produce. They're going to keep doing it as long as people keep watching it, and it keeps getting ratings. High ratings,
it's a business.
High advertising dollars.
Because it's a business. They have to bring in revenue. It's not about what you want to watch. Like Dr. Taji said, you watch PBS if you care about the quality of your show. Or you watch another, BBC or, any of the others that have that kind of quality programming. But it's a business. ABC is a business. All the networks are businesses. They need money. Wow. Even the news divisions, Fox News and all of that, money.
Right. And so you're not going to get straight talk from any of that because they got to pay the bills. So talk shows like Jerry Springer, BoobTube is not my thing. This is Brenna talking. And she said, didn't like Cops, but she liked The Amazing Race. And and so they put on what people are going to watch. They'll snatch down good stuff for what reason we don't know. They make harebrained ideas. And you know what I mean? Mark said, bring back quality television like years.
Okay.
Sorry, Mark. Ago.
All right.
The question is, has there ever really been quality television? Where is it other than PBS? I just.
Yeah, I don't even know if PBS is all quality.
You know what? Yeah, it's not all of it. Absolutely. I think they have a large slew of children's programming that they really attempt to keep there. I guess quality is relative. Also,
yes, exactly.
Now, I do want to say this, that on Disney Channel, they brought back Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, thank goodness. I loved Schoolhouse Rock.
I loved Schoolhouse. That was my everything on Saturday mornings.
Maybe that
Hey, Schoolhouse Rock is back and they come on, you can binge watch them or whatever, but they have the entire series.
Wow.
Because ABC had it, ABC owned it at the time. It was always ABC. Well, I'm like, oh, Disney. Okay, that's why it's over here. I was wondering. I want to see Electric Company.
That was good too.
We're gonna get it on.
Well, I like
the gonna bring you the power. I'm sorry.
Yes, and I'm like Morgan Freeman, Bill Cosby, Rita Moreno.
Yes.
What?
Yes, the Electric Company was my jam.
I enjoyed it, and yes, Mark, conjunction.
What's your function?
Yes,
picking up words and making them function. Okay,
so that's on ending on a positive note. If you want to find Schoolhouse Rock, it is on Disney Channel.
Cool.
Here's another positive note. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see.
Mark says, I'm a bill on Capitol Hill. Maybe we'll learn some stuff. Maybe we need to send this out to some people so they can know how to write.
And so they can know how to pass a bill.
Right.
Thank you. How a bill becomes a law.
Yes.
Can we just go back? So thank you so much for tuning in live and on the replay. This was a wild ride, but we don't care.
It was. It's always a wild time right now.
Fridays is always a wild ride. because we talk tech and all the things that surround tech. And in today's society, tech and social, what's the word? Social happenings are happening because of tech.
Absolutely.
So thank you all for tuning in and staying on the roller coaster with us. Okay, yes, Brenna got some good stuff. National Geographic Frontline. Thank you, Brenna. I like National Geographic too.
They actually, by the way, sorry, really quickly, they're actually doing something on Instagram. So National Geographic has debuted a new series on Instagram Live this week, Around the World Live. So since you mentioned that,
Wow, that's gonna be nice.
Oh, yes. Okay. Mhm.
Because I like it, because Instagram was always meant to be for photography. I can see how that would work. If we just use the platform the way it was designed, maybe that would be a thing. Okay.
yeah.
Thanks, Jill. I'm going to check out yesterday's. If you all want to know how to breathe to help you make better decisions,
Oh my God.
you need to check out our program from yesterday.
It was great.
Breathing spaces on there with meditation
Ooh,
for clarity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's it for today. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you so much. And if you want to join Biz Chicks, text Biz to 33777. You'll get a little free something on there. Standard operating procedures for success. Thank you, Brenna. We appreciate all of you watching, and thank you so much. And Terry?
I just want to say, guys, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you Monday for coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.